There is a town in Colorado that doesn't appear on most maps. A town that once had hundreds of residents, now, it's completely abandoned. The strange part isn't why everyone left. It's why no one talks about what happened. This is the story of Wrenfield. The town that listened too closely. Wrenfield was founded in 1913, a small, mining town hidden in the Colorado mountains. It had one church, 2 schools, a general store, and one road leading in and out. It was isolated, surrounded by dense forest and high cliffs. In 1998, everything changed. That year, nearly every resident vanished in one night. Over 700 people disappeared. No bodies were found. Houses were left open. Dinner was still on tables. Cars were parked. Lights were on. But the people were gone. No one called for help. No one warned nearby towns. When police arrived, the only signs of life were a few stray animals walking the streets. There was no crime scene. No blood. No signs of struggle. Just silence. One clue remained. A phone call. It was placed to 911 just before midnight on July 4, 1998. The call lasted less than 1 minute. The woman on the line said someone was outside. She said they weren't people. She said they only listened. Then, the call ended. The police traced the call to a payphone in the town's general store. When they arrived, the town was empty. Local legends began to spread. People started calling the strange presence in Wrenfield the listeners. Old town journals from the 1920s mention them. In one church log from 1922, the pastor wrote that something was scratching at his window. He wrote that silence was the only way to stay safe. The townspeople followed this belief every year on July 4th. From sundown to sunrise, they stayed completely silent, lights off, curtains drawn. No one spoke a word. They called it the Night of Silence. Breaking the silence was believed to bring them, the listeners. Some claimed that anyone who made a sound during the Night of Silence was never seen again. In 2002, a documentary crew tried to interview the last few people who ever lived in Wrenfield. Most refused. One man agreed. His name was Pastor Louis Carmen. He was 82 years old and blind. He said the listeners don't follow sound, they follow attention. The more you think about them, the closer they come. He said speaking about them is enough to attract them. He said he survived because he stopped listening. In 2005, explorers found a VHS tape inside a house in Wrenfield. It showed a teenage girl and her brother walking through the town during the day. Nothing unusual happened until night fell. Then, things changed. There were unexplained distortions on the tape. Strange movements outside windows, sudden cuts in the footage. At one point, the girl seemed to be talking to someone off camera, but no one else was visible. In the final seconds of the tape, the screen went dark. A voice said not to look, not to speak. Then the tape ended. Behind the town is a place called Black Hollow Field. In 1961, miners tried to expand operations into that land. They stopped after a few weeks. According to a personal diary, they heard voices underground. Some said the deeper they dug, the louder the voices became. They claimed to find strange figures in the rock, people frozen in place, not skeletons. Whole bodies turned to stone. The mining site was shut down. Government officials sealed it and took all documents. Nothing was ever released publicly. In 2021, a user on Reddit posted that their uncle was a state trooper who responded to the Wrenfield incident in 1998. The uncle left a note before he died. The user uploaded it. The note said he entered a house that was still warm. The lights were on. There were mirrors everywhere. He saw things in the mirrors that weren't real. He heard a voice using his own voice. He said he realized something else was speaking through him. Something that followed him back. At the end of the note, he wrote one sentence. "I was never alone in that house, and I've never been alone since." 2 days later, the Reddit user deleted their account. The last message they left behind said only this: "They found me." Today, Wrenfield is sealed by the government. They say it's dangerous terrain. Locals report black vehicles entering the area. But no one comes back the same way. The town remains untouched. Some say the listeners are still there. Some say they never left. They only need one thing: for someone to listen. If you ever find yourself in the mountains of Colorado and you see a road with no name, don't follow it, don't ask questions, don't speak. And above all, never listen too closely, because something might be listening back. If you made it this far, maybe you're one of the few who can still hear the whispers. Subscribe to this channel, not just to support this effort, but to make sure you're never alone when the next story finds you. We'll be waiting.